Hello, everyone. Every customer who walks into a store leaves behind a story, a path of glances, pauses, and choices. We built Pathwise, a platform that turns store data into informative and actionable outputs. It uses machine learning models in the backend, plus LLM agents with theory of mind reasoning to simulate traffic and attention, visualize what's seen or skipped, and mitigate dead zones with precise data backed moves. Let's see how it comes to life. So when the user explores Pathwise, they can come up to this landing screen and it will show them an overview of what we stand for or what we do. You can then create an account. I already have one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and um, log into that. And once I do that, I'm greeted with this screen. Here, as a business owner, I can go ahead and add my documents, which is my floor plan of my business, then the product locations as a CSV of what product is on what shelf, and so on, and the sales data, the history for the past 6 months or 8 months. Here you can see that we're trying to scale this product actively, and we are trying to connect it to Shopify terminal and or either custom APIs of the different, businesses. Now, all that data is sent to the LLM in the backend, and we do some analysis, and here it comes. This is what the LLM sort of churns out, and you can see it is a pretty dashboard, but it gives you so many important KPIs. So let me just navigate to summer. This was all seasons. In the summer, the top zone is coolers. A lot of people love ice cream, so they'll go to the coolers. You have your attention share of 29%, which is great, not too bad, but still can be increased, right? Um, there's other KPIs, and if you hover over it, you can see the average sort of visibility score, which is the most important score when it comes to understanding which products customers look at. You have also the adjacency pairs, which shows which two products can be grouped together and placed somewhere, and it will give the highest visibility. So here you can see chips and salsa give 18% if they're paired together. Now, what if I want to optimize? If I'm Sarah, a business owner, I want to optimize, let's say, coffee, right? And I'm looking at coffee, and currently I can see that I'm looking across all categories, but I want to look at coffee as a beverage and in my entry zone where I've put it, and just the base level ones. From my data that I gave originally, it shows that this specific coffee is currently at base level and it is like all these information about the coffee. Now I can apply these filters. It will show me the specific coffee and the LLM in the backend based on the things that we looked up for optimization. It will give you recommendations. So I can increase the facings and we can see how that change applies. So you can do that to optimize. And then let's say you know how to optimize, you know what works for you, but you just want to understand what that means, right? So this is our learning insights. So from all the data and all the optimizations that you do, you can then understand how sort of what is the difference between the attention and the sales? Is there a correlation? What is your return on investment on your end caps or any zone of your store and so on? And let's look at this. Our LLM will parse out all this information, and also some of it is assumptions and also predictions. So it's predicting that the summer ROI would be this, and then your fall ROI is this, right? Because the data I gave was just for spring, so it will give you predictions for later and later years, um, months, sorry. And what you can do is download that data as well for latter use, right? But what if I want to simulate how what changing what product around will impact my sales or my visibility in a store? So let's say I like energy drinks, I'm going to start there. And then coffee, I'm going to put that at the ends, right? And then I'm gonna do a 5 tier shelf for that, right? So there's a coffee complete shelf of coffee. Let's see how that impacts. My current performance is this based on the data I shared. So I'm gonna run the simulation, and then it shows zone by zone what the visibility of these things are and how it changes across 30 days. Now, we are currently scaling it. So we are trying to do 90 days because that's usually how long a season lasts, 3 months-ish. So we are planning to implement that. And yeah, that's what you can use. And let's say I want to save this plan, right? I like this plan. What I can do is save it and go to my plans. And from my previous plans, I can just compare them, right? If I were to make multiple different plans on how I'm going to place coffee and where, I can compare and see which plan is better and how it helps me, sales wise, visibility wise, and so on. Now, what's happening in the back end is think of this as like think of this as the brain, what's happening in the brain. So these are the walls of the floor plan, right? This visualization was made by us. And what we do is, let's say we put products around, right? And we are trying to mimic and help our LLM understand how a user would go, right? We are trying to do user behaviors. So yellow are the product we want, red are just the products that are there, but we don't really want them, right? And think of this one as the last product we want. So if somebody's like me and has a list of everything they want to take and they just go in and out, we can then try to do the optimal run, right? So let's visualize that. So if you see, there's a heat map happening, and what this heat map shows is which spots have the highest visibility or highest foot traffic, and so on. So this will show what the specific grid on the floor, the shop is, the store is, and then we'll translate that data to those insights that we saw. And it uses some of them as assumptions as well. We can also, this was somebody like me who knows what they exactly want. But what if somebody's just there to explore the items, right? It's a sale time, so they're just there to explore what's going on. So think of it again as the floor plan right here. Let's say these are the walls, and then you put the products around, and let me just bunch a few here, okay? And then I'm gonna put dummy products around somewhere, and I'm just going to put dummy products here and here, okay? And let's see if they're more of an exploratory type, what would happen. So our algorithm will, randomly go around and see how this is all based on the predictions, right? So we're trying to predict what the people will do. And then we get an output of these heat maps of which areas and which products get most visibility. And then we take that output and turn that into an input for a second part of our LLM, which is an agent. And what it does, it will give you the insights, and then it will take some of it as an assumption, some of it as a assumption to then work on, and then give you a prediction. Okay, so that's what's happening in the background. Well, thank you so much for this. If you have questions, please look at the larger video. Thank you.